The stars glimmered against the dark backdrop of space, casting a soft light on Europa Station. Hyun Park stood motionless, her reflection barely visible in the thick, transparent wall separating her from the vast repair bays. Around her, massive, mechanical arms moved with a precision that seemed almost alive, dancing between starship hulls of various shapes and sizes. Most repair stations across the galaxy were simple, functional spaces. But this one was different. Here, every movement was calculated, every repair a work of art. Alien captains who once laughed at human engineering now waited in long queues, their massive vessels floating patiently outside the station's protective energy shields. It hadn't always been like this. Just 5 years earlier, human repair facilities were considered joke operations. Alien species would pass by, barely giving them a second glance. They believed humans were too young, too inexperienced to understand the complex mechanics of interstellar spacecraft. Hyun remembered those early days. Her team worked tirelessly, often spending weeks studying abandoned spacecraft fragments, learning every curve, every technological secret. They didn't have advanced alien scanning equipment or centuries of inherited knowledge. What they had was curiosity, determination, and an unusual ability to think differently. The first major breakthrough came with a small merchant ship from the Orion Confederation. Its engines were completely destroyed, the hull riddled with microfractures that most repair stations would have condemned as hopeless. But Hyun's team saw a challenge. Using experimental nano-restoration techniques and custom-designed repair algorithms, they managed to rebuild the ship in just 3 days. What would have taken other stations months was completed with stunning efficiency. The merchant captain couldn't believe his eyes when his vessel emerged from the repair bay, looking better than when it was first manufactured. Word spread quickly. In the interconnected galaxy of trade routes and communication networks, news traveled faster than light. Captains began talking about the human repair dock that could do the impossible. They shared stories in space taverns, communication channels, and trade meetings. Hyun never sought publicity. She was an engineer, not a marketing expert. Her focus remained on solving problems, understanding machinery, and pushing the boundaries of what was considered repairable. Her team was a mix of young engineers and seasoned technicians, united by a shared passion for solving complex mechanical challenges. The station's reputation grew organically. No fancy advertisements, no aggressive marketing campaigns, just pure demonstrated skill. Alien species who once ignored human capabilities now started viewing them with respect. The repair dock became more than just a maintenance facility. It became a symbol of human potential. Funding started pouring in. Research institutions, trade federations, and independent investors saw the incredible opportunity. Hyun used these resources not for flashy equipment, but for continuous learning and innovation. Every repair was a chance to understand something new about spacecraft technology. Her team developed unique diagnostic tools that could map out intricate mechanical structures in ways no other civilization had imagined. They created adaptive repair algorithms that could respond to multiple types of damage simultaneously. Where other repair stations saw a destroyed spacecraft, they saw a complex puzzle waiting to be solved. The mechanical arms around her continued their delicate dance. Each movement was a testament to human engineering, precise, intelligent, innovative. Hyun watched as a massive alien freighter was carefully maneuvered into the primary repair bay, its damaged hull telling a story of long, dangerous journeys. She knew this was just the beginning. Humans were still newcomers in the vast galactic community, but here in this repair station, they were proving that age and traditional knowledge weren't everything. Innovation, creativity, and a relentless drive to understand could overcome any technological barrier. As the mechanical arms began their intricate work, Hyun allowed herself a small smile. The universe was about to learn that human engineering was something truly special. Jae Kim leaned over the diagnostic screen, his fingers moving quickly across the holographic interface. The workshop around him hummed with quiet energy, filled with advanced tools and strange machines that looked more like art installations than repair equipment. In the center of the large repair bay, a damaged spacecraft from the Gamma Quadrant slowly rotated, Its hull was covered in complex burn marks and structural breaks that would make most engineers simply shake their heads and recommend complete replacement. But Jay saw something different. Where other repair teams saw destruction, he saw an opportunity to solve a complex puzzle. His team had developed a unique nano-restoration technique that could rebuild spacecraft molecular structures in ways no other civilization had imagined. These microscopic repair robots could rebuild damaged sections faster than traditional welding or replacement methods. The spacecraft's primary power system had been completely destroyed. Normal repair stations would require weeks, maybe months, to reconstruct such complex systems, but Jay's approach was revolutionary. He programmed the nanobots to analyze each damaged component, understand its original structure, and then rebuild it from the inside out. Two junior engineers watched in amazement as the process unfolded. The nanobots moved like tiny, intelligent workers, connecting broken circuits, rebuilding damaged energy channels, and restructuring molecular bonds. What seemed impossible was happening right before their eyes. Jay had spent years developing this technology. He understood that most alien civilizations approached repairs with a rigid, traditional mindset. They would replace entire sections, discard complex components, and spend enormous resources on what humans saw as a solvable challenge. His diagnostic algorithms were equally impressive. While other engineering teams used standard scanning methods, Jay's system could predict potential future failures, understand complex mechanical interactions, and create predictive repair strategies. It was like giving the spacecraft a complete health checkup and treatment plan in minutes. The Gamma Quadrant spacecraft was just one example. In the past month, his team had successfully repaired vessels that other stations had declared beyond salvation. A mining ship from the Orion Confederation, a research vessel from the Proxima system, and a diplomatic transport from the Far Reach colonies, all had been restored to perfect working condition. What made Jay's approach unique was his understanding that every spacecraft told a story. Each burn mark, each structural break was a narrative of its journey. Instead of seeing damage, he saw history. His repairs weren't just about fixing machines. They were about preserving stories and understanding. Technological evolution. The nano-restoration process continued. Sections that were previously considered permanently damaged began to rebuild themselves. Metal restructured, circuits reconnected, and energy systems came back to life. It was like watching a living organism heal itself. Other engineering teams had tried to understand his methods. They sent spies, attempted to reverse engineer his technology. But the core of his success was not just in the tools, but in the approach. Jay believed in understanding, not just repairing. His team was diverse, bringing together engineers from different backgrounds. Some were traditional mechanical experts, others were quantum physicists, and a few were artists who saw technology as a form of creative expression. This diversity was their greatest strength. As the spacecraft's systems gradually came back online, Jay allowed himself a small smile. This wasn't just about fixing a machine. This was about proving that human engineering could go beyond traditional limitations. The repair was complete in less than 12 hours. Where other stations would have taken weeks, Jay's team had transformed a seemingly destroyed spacecraft into a perfect functional vessel. The alien captain who would receive this ship would never know the intricate dance of nanobots and intelligent algorithms that had saved his vehicle. Outside the repair bay, more spacecraft waited. Each one represented a challenge, a story, waiting to be understood and restored. Jay knew that they were doing more than just repairs. They were writing a new chapter in the history of galactic engineering. The nanobots finished their final adjustments, and the spacecraft gleamed under the workshops. Soft lights, another impossible repair completed, another testament to human innovation. The massive Crawl battleship drifted silently against the starry background, its hull badly damaged and leaking dangerous radiation. Most repair stations across the galaxy had already refused contact, considering the vessel too risky and complex to restore. Yun Park received the transmission early in the morning. The Crawl diplomatic communication was tense, almost desperate. Their ship had been critically damaged, during a border skirmish and no one was willing to help. Traditional repair facilities saw the vessel as a potential death trap. The Kraul were not known for their flexibility. They were a proud warrior race with advanced technology, but rigid thinking. Their battleships were massive, complex machines designed for intense space combat. This particular vessel had sustained damage that would normally mean complete destruction. J. Kim studied the initial scans with intense concentration. Radiation levels were dangerously high. Structural integrity was compromised in multiple sections. Any standard repair approach would require months of work and immense resources. But something about this challenge excited him. "We can do this," he told his team, pointing at the complex radiation damage patterns. Most engineers would have walked away, but Jay saw an opportunity to prove human capabilities. The first challenge was containment. Specialized energy shields were quickly deployed around the damaged sections. Unique radiation-absorbing nanomaterials, developed in their research labs, began neutralizing the dangerous energy signatures. Where other stations saw an impossible task, Hyun's team saw a complex puzzle waiting to be solved. Kraul representatives watched in disbelief as human repair teams approached their seemingly destroyed battleship. Their communication channels were filled with skepticism and barely hidden anger. They expected another rejection, another confirmation of their belief that no one could save their vessel. Jay's team worked with precision that seemed almost supernatural. Mechanical arms moved with intelligence, rebuilding complex energy systems. Nanobots traveled through the ship's internal structures, repairing molecular-level damage that would have taken other civilizations years to understand. The repair process wasn't just about fixing physical damage. It was about understanding the entire mechanical ecosystem of the spacecraft. Each repair was calculated, each movement purposeful. The Kraul watched in stunned silence as sections they believed were permanently destroyed began to reconstruct themselves. Within 72 hours, something miraculous happened. The battleship's primary systems came back online. Radiation levels dropped to safe parameters. Structural integrity was not just restored, but improved beyond the original manufacturing specifications. The Kraul captain, a massive warrior with traditional combat markings, personally visited the repair station. His initial aggressive posture slowly transformed into something resembling respect. Humans had done what his entire civilization believed impossible. Diplomatic channels across the galaxy began buzzing with the news. A minor repair station had restored a critically damaged Kraul battleship in record time. The implications were enormous. If humans could perform such complex repairs, what other technological capabilities might they possess? Hyun understood this was more than just a technical achievement. This was a diplomatic breakthrough. By solving an impossible problem, they had changed how alien civilizations viewed human technological capabilities. The repair wasn't just about fixing a spacecraft, it was a statement. Humans were not just newcomers in the galactic community. They were innovative problem solvers who could achieve what others considered impossible. As the Kraul battleship prepared to leave the repair station, its hull gleaming, under the artificial station lights, something had fundamentally changed. The galaxy would never look at human repair facilities the same way again. Jae and Hyun watched the massive vessel slowly move away from the station. No grand speeches were made, no formal ceremonies conducted, just the quiet satisfaction of having solved an impossible challenge. The stars outside seemed to shine a little brighter, witnessing a moment that would be remembered in galactic history. Humans had just proven that their engineering was something truly extraordinary. The communication channels lit up like never before. Repair contracts from across multiple star systems began flooding into Europa Station's digital request centers. What had started as a small repair facility was rapidly transforming into the most sought-after maintenance hub in 3 spiral arms of the galaxy. Alien species who once ignored human capabilities now waited in virtual queues, their desperation palpable through encrypted transmission signals. The station's economic model changed overnight. Where they once struggled to attract clients, now they could choose their projects, set premium prices, and still have waiting lists months long. Jae Kim watched the incoming requests with a mixture of excitement and careful calculation. Each contract represented more than just financial gain. They were opportunities to demonstrate human engineering capabilities, to prove that their repair techniques were revolutionary. The first major economic shift came from the Orion Trade Confederation. Their massive merchant fleet, which had always relied on traditional repair methods, suddenly requested complete system overhauls. The cost was astronomical, but the results were guaranteed to be beyond anything they had experienced before. Smaller civilizations began selling their older spacecraft to humans, knowing that a human restoration would increase the vessel's value tenfold. What was once considered space junk became valuable assets. Entire planetary economies started adjusting their technological trade strategies around human repair capabilities. Hyun Park managed the economic transformation with surgical precision. She understood that this wasn't just about making money. This was about establishing human technological supremacy in a competitive galactic marketplace. Each repair contract was carefully analyzed, not just for its financial value, but for its potential to demonstrate human innovation. The station expanded rapidly. New repair bays were constructed, advanced research facilities were added, and recruitment of the galaxy's best engineering talents began. Humans who were once considered outsiders in the interstellar community now became the most sought-after professionals. Alien investors started pouring resources into human repair facilities. They saw something remarkable happening. A young civilization was rewriting the rules of technological maintenance. Investment portfolios were redesigned, trade routes were recalculated, and entire economic strategies were rebuilt around human capabilities. Training programs emerged. Alien engineering students began applying to work with human repair teams. What was once considered a simple maintenance job was now seen as a prestigious career path. The Europa Station became more than a repair facility. It became a global learning center for advanced engineering techniques. The economic impact spread beyond immediate repair contracts. Spacecraft manufacturers began redesigning their vessels, incorporating technologies that would be more compatible with human repair methods. Insurance companies adjusted their policies, offering massive discounts for vessels that could be maintained by human teams. Jay's diagnostic algorithms became a valuable commodity. Tech companies offered enormous amounts of credits to understand the intricate systems that could predict and prevent spacecraft failures. What started as a repair technique was becoming a comprehensive technological philosophy. Smaller civilizations found new economic opportunities. They could now maintain their aging fleets at a fraction of previous costs. Spacecraft that would have been scrapped could now be restored to near original conditions. The galactic economy began shifting around this new human-driven technological approach. The financial numbers were staggering. In just 2 years, the human repair facilities generated more economic activity than some entire planetary systems. But it wasn't just about money. It was about changing how technology was understood, maintained, and valued. Hyun understood the deeper significance. This wasn't just an economic transformation. This was a fundamental shift in how civilizations viewed technological maintenance. Humans were no longer just participants in the galactic economy. They were becoming its primary architects. As the station's digital boards continued to fill with incoming repair requests, Jay and Hyun shared a moment of quiet understanding. They had done more than create a successful business. They had opened a new chapter in galactic technological evolution. The stars outside seemed to twinkle with possibility, witnessing an economic revolution that would be remembered for generations to come. Humans had transformed from technological newcomers to the most respected engineering culture in known space. The Galactic Engineering Summit was unlike any previous conference. Representatives from hundreds of star systems gathered, their eyes fixed on the human presentation stage. Jae Kim and Hyun Park stood quietly, waiting to demonstrate something that would change technological understanding forever. Behind them, a massive holographic display showed a completely destroyed spacecraft. Its hull was fractured, systems completely offline, looking more like space debris than a functional vessel. Most engineers would have recommended immediate disposal. Jay's presentation was simple and direct. He explained how human restoration techniques went beyond traditional repair. This wasn't just about fixing machines, it was about understanding their entire technological ecosystem. Each spacecraft told a story, and humans had learned to read and rewrite that story. The nano-restoration process began. Microscopic robots moved through the damaged spacecraft, rebuilding molecular structures with incredible precision. Where other civilizations saw destruction, humans saw an opportunity for complete transformation. Alien engineers watched in stunned silence. The spacecraft's systems gradually came back to life. Broken circuits reconnected, damaged energy channels rebuilt themselves, and complex mechanical structures restored to perfect condition. What should have taken months was completed in mere hours. Hyun explained the philosophical approach behind their technique. Repair wasn't just a technical process, it was a form of technological conversation. Each damaged component told a story about its journey, its challenges, and its potential future. The restored spacecraft now looked better than when it was first manufactured. Its structural integrity was enhanced, energy systems optimized, and potential failure points eliminated. This wasn't just repair, this was technological resurrection. Representatives from different star systems began asking questions. Some were skeptical, others were fascinated, but everyone understood something. Fundamental had changed. Humans had redefined the entire concept of spacecraft maintenance. The economic implications were enormous. Entire industries would need to redesign their approaches. Insurance companies, spacecraft manufacturers, and repair facilities would have to completely rethink their strategies. Jay's diagnostic algorithms became the centerpiece of discussion. These weren't just repair tools. They were predictive systems that could understand a spacecraft's potential future failures before they happened. It was like giving machines a form of preventive health care. The summit became a turning point. Humans were no longer seen as newcomers in the galactic technological community. They were recognized as innovative leaders who could solve problems others considered impossible. Smaller civilizations saw new opportunities. They could now maintain their aging technological infrastructure with unprecedented efficiency. Spacecraft that would have been scrapped could be restored. Planetary systems could extend their technological capabilities. Hyun understood this was about more than just repair techniques. This was a fundamental shift in technological philosophy. Humans had introduced a new way of thinking about machines, not as static objects, but as dynamic, adaptable systems. The presentation concluded with a live demonstration. The restored spacecraft launched from the summit's demonstration bay, its systems working perfectly. Alien engineers watched in amazement as it performed complex maneuvers that exceeded its original design specifications. As the spacecraft disappeared into the simulated space environment, the conference hall erupted in applause. Something extraordinary had happened. Humans had just demonstrated that they could go beyond repair. They could transform technology itself. Jay and Hyun shared a quiet moment of understanding. They had done more than develop a repair technique. They had introduced a new way of thinking about technological maintenance and innovation. The galactic community would never be the same. Humans had proven that with creativity, determination, and a unique approach to problem solving, anything was possible. The stars seemed to shine a little brighter, witnessing a moment that would be remembered in technological history. As the summit concluded, alien representatives approached the human team. No longer were they viewed as technological newcomers. They were recognized as innovative leaders who had just changed the entire understanding of spacecraft maintenance and technological restoration. The future had arrived, and it was distinctly human.